It's time to put some breakpoints into the algorithm because it keeps on bugging out and I have no idea where it's messing up. Breakpoint. B-R-E-A-K-P-O-I-N-T. Breakpoint. When engineers program or code or script something, when they write a piece of software, and then they notice that that piece of software is not working properly, those errors that they see, they're called bugs. You might know that. And to find the error, that process is called debugging. Now, there are a lot of ways to do it. One way to debug is to just pore over every single line and get a headache and get annoyed and then quit programming and quit being an engineer and go off to become like a farmer or something. But another way to debug is to use all the tools available to you. For example, today, one of the tools that we have for debugging is to use a breakpoint. So on a computer, when you're programming something, you're typing out all this code or an algorithm, and you run it, normally the algorithm will just run however you've coded it. It'll just run without stopping because it's a computer. It does what you tell it to do. But you can also click on a little point in your code, let's say halfway through, and put a breakpoint in there. Like in some pieces of coding software, you click on it and it puts a little dot where you want the breakpoint to go in your code. And that means that when you run the code, when it gets to that breakpoint, it will stop. It'll pause and wait. It'll let you see what's happened to the code so far wherever you've put that breakpoint. It's not going to execute all your code. So it kind of lets you, it's like watching a movie and putting the film on pause so you can look at the freeze frame there and see what's happening. See the state of your program, just like you would see the state of the movie while you're watching it. That's one way to think about it. And it's a really powerful tool because when you're executing code normally, it happens in a blink of an eye, and you can't always analyze what's happening. You can't look at the guts of your code. Whereas breakpoints, it lets you pause and freeze time and see what's going on. It's powerful. Another example of a breakpoint in a similar field is in web development or in design, because when you put in breakpoints in developing for the web, for visual user interfaces, breakpoints are places where the design changes. The code doesn't execute as you normally would expect it, or the script will actually look at that breakpoint and be like, okay, when you see your website on a small mobile phone, you're going to execute a different set of code. But when you look at this website on a huge monitor screen, you're going to execute this set of code. So similarly, in the specific case of web development, a breakpoint is a special case, a special scenario where your code might change in behavior. But in general, your code, when it encounters a breakpoint, is going to pause and reevaluate what's going on. And it's really helpful for engineers. I can't wait for breakpoint to become a neologism so that it's no longer a technical word and it just becomes this poetic thing that people talk about. We'll see what happens in the future. That is our engineering word of the day, breakpoint. Hey, this is Pius, your resident engineer and your host of the Engineering Word of the Day podcast. I hope you're enjoying your breakpoint. If you like stuff like this, you should also check out my other longer podcast called the K-12 Engineering Education Podcast. And that's all about bringing engineering education to young people. So go on over to k12engineering.net and check that one out. Thanks.